Welcome to WizThrift, your one-stop shop for all things mystical, magical, and fantastical. Hello everybody! My name is WizThrift. I am here today with a new friend with a creator interview, and we are going to be talking all about role-playing games, fantasy worlds, and all that great stuff that we love. So, Jen, would you give an introduction of yourself?
Yeah. So I'm Jennifer Johnston, also just known by Jen. And I love anything RPG, anything fun, fantasy gaming, PC gaming. And I'm getting into getting into fantasy artwork, medieval artwork. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, and you've kind of started your own little journey of improvement and drawing and art and everything. So I have some questions for you. I'm excited today.
All right, well, shoot, go for it.
Sweet. So what are your origins of role-playing games? How did you get into those?
Ooh, okay, that's fun. So it didn't actually start when I was like a kid or anything. I actually just started 6 years ago watching The Lord of the Rings. So it was like only 6 years ago.
Nice.
Introduced me, and I loved it. I was like, ooh, elves, like wizards, dwarves, that's cool. So I loved Hobbit. And then a couple years ago, my brother and sister-in-law, they came over with this like big cardboard box full of like hundreds of little cards. And they're like, hey, do you guys want to learn how to play Magic? And I'm like, sure, cool. So they taught us to play Magic. And then my husband got me my own little set. So that was fun. We started playing more. And then I think it was the next year, which would be probably about 3 years ago, they brought over these thick manual books of the GURPS, the role playing.
Oh, nice.
They took us on our first like campaign. So I thought that was super cool. Like I get to be really creative and like actually use my brain and do my own dialogue. This is really cool. Yep. So that's kind of where it first like really started to like pique my interest. And after that, we started to play Magic more, and throughout the years, I'm a big gamer, PC, Xbox gamer. So yeah, I love Skyrim, War in the North. Oh, so good. And then last year, what really got me into like the RPG world is my brother he wanted to do a campaign with us. So I put in the Frost Maiden, and
nice.
It's just so fun. I like super got into it, built my own character, So I think my brother Elijah was the one who really got me into the RPG world.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's kind of addicting. Like once you get started and you kind of get how to make characters, and you're like, oh, I can do anything. You just kind of let loose and you just go.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's so creative, which is the thing I think I like the most. It is so creative.
Yeah, for sure. What is that your favorite part? Is just the creativity?
I think so. As like, coming up with your name, your character, what they look like, what they end up doing, and all that creative stuff.
That's awesome. No, that's fantastic. That's the main reason why I got into it as well. The past 10 years of my life, and it's just kind of become my life at this point, where I love kind of being someone else just for a short amount of time, just to try different things, to try and see a different perspective. So.
Absolutely, kind of gets you out of the real world sometimes.
Yeah,
push yourself into something else, which is super fun.
Yeah, it's definitely an escape. Do you have a favorite recent memory, or just maybe a favorite memory of like a role-playing game that you've had?
Ooh, let's see. One of my favorites is the Frost Maiden campaign that we're doing. So it's me and my husband and then my two little brothers, and we all cuddle up on my bed and make this little ring, and then we FaceTime my brother in New Hampshire, and so it's me and my bros.
That's awesome.
Do our role-playing games. It's fun.
That's super cool. Yeah, like I just said, I love being a different character and trying those things, but I have made so many good friends just through role-playing games. I've met you today, like we've been talking a little bit, but I've made a new friend, and I do this like almost every week now with a new like creator, and so it's been really cool to not only just like through online, but just in general making new friends, but also like I've reignited friendships with role-playing games where
Aw.
like I'm like, hey, do you guys want to like try out D&D? And they're like, yeah. Now we've been playing for like over a year together,
That's,
like almost every week.
that's super cool.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, it's the best. I think it really is a game for everybody.
I do too. It's a really good world, and it's a really good way of playing games nowadays. I like it, and it
Yeah,
seems to be getting way more popular. I don't know if
it
it's just
is.
because I'm into it, but like with Stranger Things coming out, and it just like now I see it in all these stores everywhere. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, D&D, magic, it's everywhere. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, I think it's just the idea of geek and nerdy culture is just much more accepted now,
Yeah.
because the people who were really into it in like the 70s, 80s and 90s are now the ones creating it. And so I think that's like it's so popular because oh, these celebrities are doing it, or oh, my parents did it so they got me into it, which is my goal one day, is to get my kids into it when I have children one day. So
Yeah. That's great.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That's awesome. That's really cool that you're like your whole family is kind of become this role playing slash like uh just activity unit. Do you think it has brought you guys closer together as like as real people?
oh, absolutely. It really has. We're just like this little band or gang of nerds. It's
Yeah.
so great. Me and my brother are super close. Um, just all throughout the day, actually been visiting them the past couple of weeks,
Hmm.
and throughout the day, we're just like bouncing ideas off of each other. Just like, hey, do you see this meme? And ah,
That's really cool. Dang. So okay, I haven't really experienced many couples that have played together. What has it been like playing with your husband? What's that been like?
It's fun. It's really fun. It's kind of funny because we have our own characters now, and we're super close. We're one of
Oh,
those couples who
I would hope
I
so.
don't
You're married.
know.
Yeah.
So when we start doing the role playing games, we're obviously not married in those role playing games.
Yeah.
So we have our different characters, and we're like, does my character have another partner? Is it like, are we gonna meet up and fall in love? We're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
it's pretty fun.
Hmm.
But it's good too because we can talk throughout the day. We work the same job,
Oh, cool.
so we have to bounce ideas off of each other and show each other accounts all day long. Hey, did you see this really cool podcast or this account?
Yeah.
It's super fun to have somebody you're super close with to share your nerdiness with.
Yeah. No, I think it's like just a huge like just blessing in general. It gives a lot of a context to that can strengthen relationships. So I like that a lot. I think that's really cool that you have this close family, and you know it's kind of permeated everything. I know I've gotten pretty much all of my family into it as well to an extent, except for my dad, because he can barely sit still for like 30 seconds, let alone like a couple hours playing a game. But
Yeah.
like I've gotten my mom into it, my sister, like my brothers. I kind of got them into it, and they've kind of done their own thing. But I like to think it was me. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, yeah,
Great mom plays. That's so
yeah.
cool.
No, I that's one reason why I love being a dungeon master, is because like I'm like, yes, come, join me, enter the game world with me that I've created.
Oh, that's great. That
Yeah,
is so fun.
yeah. Oh, awesome. Well, okay. What are your plans for your journey? You've mentioned like in your Instagram post that you're on this journey of like creativity. What is that? Explain.
So getting into all the RPG stuff, you see all the beautiful, amazing artwork, and
Yeah.
it's just some of the most creative out there. Since really nothing is beyond, anything.
Hmm.
So, and I am a digital artist, but for the most part, I draw like floral or like patterns or basic line work.
Yeah.
So recently, I'm just like, I want to create some of this like beautiful artwork. It's so awesome and it's just breathtaking.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what? I just got to buckle down and I really just want to learn how to draw it properly.
Mhm.
So, I gotta go back to the basics though. I gotta learn the fundamentals and how to draw from my brain and get what my brain is seeing onto my iPad because I'm a digital artist.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought an Instagram account would be a good way to really motivate me and keep me on track and just have people follow along. I thought that'd be fun. So
Yeah.
I'm starting square one. I'm doing drawabox.com. He has a free class that is amazing so far. So I'm just starting at level 1 and working my way up. And so my world is called Kiso. It's the hidden planet. And
Cool.
it's going to be one of those pinks and purples and blues, very magically looking planets. And I'm going to have my RPG character, Varya. That's who I usually play. She's half druid, half human. So I'm going to have her be the person who's exploring this world for the first time as I am learning how to draw it and as I'm creating these characters and these new planets and the whole atmosphere. So that's what I'm going for. And it is so much fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. So are you planning on turning this into like, I mean, there's so many possibilities. Is it gonna be just like are you gonna be like a dungeon master? This is your world, or are you like that you're gonna like actually make an art book? Like what like have you thought of those things yet?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool.
My brain is exploding.
Yeah.
So it started off with just learning how to draw, because I wanted to create creatures.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing. I want to make the fun, cute fantasy creatures. But as I'm going on, I'm like, ooh, I want to make a world. And then I'm like, well, actually it'd be really fun to make campaigns and be able to like give those campaigns out to the public. And so I think I'd like to make a campaign book and maybe do like a Patreon account. Well, I actually do have a Patreon account, but I want to do so many things.
Yeah.
We have a resin printer and a 3D printer. So I also want to learn how to model and make my creatures like into minis and sell those someday.
That's
yeah.
Fantastic. Dang, that's super cool. That's awesome. They have all these plans.
Yeah, it's really fun. My brain stay long while I'm at work. I'm constantly pulling my phone and down ideas and names of creatures and what they should act like.
Yeah. So I to get inspiration for whatever I'm working on at the moment, I use Pinterest. Do you use Pinterest as well?
I am actually trying to stay away from it because I don't want their amazing artwork to like muddle my own ideas. I don't want to be like ripping people off too much. Yeah. So I'm trying mostly to just have it come from my brain. Okay. So, but I do love Pinterest.
It's so good. It helps me so much with like inspiration when I'm struggling with an idea. It really helps me get to the point where I need to. But I totally understand your point of view though, where you want it to all be fresh and new. So that's really cool.
One thing I am using for mental inspiration is I just started listening to a podcast. Let me come up with it real quick. I think it's the art of world building. His is really cool. He has a YouTube channel too, and he just kind of like gives you really good ideas on how to build a world, how to make your magic systems, how to create your classes and human or races. Yeah. So that's a really cool podcast I like so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, I get so much inspiration from other creators. That's one reason why I love doing these creator interviews, is because I'm able to learn from people and to see their process and how they do it, because there's so like essentially infinite ways to do all of these things that we're doing. And so I love hearing about it. Me
too. It's just the world, the nerdy world we live in nowadays. People are so creative, and it's really cool to be able to meet more people like you. And I loved looking at your channel, and I was going through, and I was like, this is so cool. There's not like a super classification of people who role play. It's like everybody does it, and everybody's so different. It's really cool.
Yeah, and I like I'm soon in the future going to be expanding to not just Dungeons and Dragons, but to other role playing games as well. Because my origins are in Call of Cthulhu, which is a mystery slash like kind of horror thriller type game, with
Okay.
all of like with a lot of like H.P. Lovecraft monsters and just that type of world. And
Yep.
so that's what got me into role playing games. And so I want to start showing off and showing people more of that world, because it's really fun. If you're into, like me personally, I don't like watching scary movies because like it's just like it gets too real for me. But I love being in the moment, like that feeling of the adrenaline and suspense of like of a good scary story, of like a thriller. So that's how I got into role playing games, and so I want to show others that.
Oh, that's great. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So my next question: what are some of your favorite fantasy influences?
Ooh, that's fun. I mean, you gotta love Lord of the Rings. That's a
Of
super,
course.
super classic, and actually my first kind of introduction. So that's a good one. I really like Dungeons and Dragons. Like that's just one of the big ones. Like that's just super always inspiring. I've recently, I don't know why I haven't before, but I recently followed them on Instagram. So they're constantly coming out with really fun, really creative stuff. That's fun. I do a lot of magic, so magic is one of the ones that is super inspiring for me and gets my brain thinking. So those are some of the ones. Oh, and Skyrim. I love Skyrim. That puts you in that feeling, just that mood where you get to be your own person. So Skyrim's a big one.
I have put in hundreds of hours into Skyrim. Every time, like I have it on like every system I've ever played, I think. So I started with PS3 and then I had it on PC. I still have it on PC, and then I've played it on PS4, and now I have it on my Nintendo Switch. So it's like there's no way to calculate it, I don't think, but like I have put in a lot of hours into Skyrim. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's super cool. One of the best well done medieval games, I think.
Yeah, I think it's very fun. It's but Bethesda does pretty good with open world games. They have their glitches and they have their problems, but I think it adds to the charm. It's like, oh, it's a Bethesda game. It's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So you've obviously played in some campaigns before. Are you personally a dungeon master, or are you planning on being a dungeon master?
Ooh, I haven't done any yet, but for my birthday last month, I got somebody gave me the starter kit. So
Nice.
I was like, should I try this out? I don't know. I think it would be really fun. I'm a little nervous because, it's like a big deal. And if you have a really good DM, you understand and you appreciate that. So you kind of want to live up to be a really good DM.
Yeah.
So, but I should definitely try it someday. So
You should.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you want to live up to your ideal dungeon master or game master, whatever you want to call them, you bring something else to the table that will be special to you. Like I don't do a very good job of planning puzzles or combat, but I love creating characters and doing voices and the acting part, mainly because I love being the center of attention. Mainly that's just me, but that's why I love being the dungeon master, because I'm the center of attention and I can kind of nudge the story, give out little things. So I think just based off of the general charisma that you have, just talking right now, I think you would be a great dungeon master.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah. No, you should definitely, even if just like a one shot or like a couple sessions. Like I think everybody should at least try.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll do it someday.
That is no. Do it now. Just kidding. Do it whenever you feel comfortable. But let me tell you, you will always be nervous. I am still nervous before every session, and I've been Dungeon Master for like the past 4 or 5 years, like consistently.
Okay.
So.
All right. Good deal. All right.
Yeah.
I can do this.
So just go before you're ready. That's my new philosophy with like everything.
Go before you're ready. I like that. Just do it. Just do it.
Mhm.
Get it done.
Nike, just do it. Sponsor
Yep.
me. Just kidding. That's super cool. That's awesome. Well, Jen, that's pretty much all I have for you. And I just wanted to thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and responding so quickly to my messages and bending your schedule to mine. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate this. This is really fun. So, love your channel.
Thank
Everybody,
you.
subscribe.
Thank you.
And
I didn't even have to pay her for that. So
subscribe to WizThrift and follow us Instagram.
yes, some big things coming in the future. I'm almost to 1,000 followers on Instagram.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's been
Really
a
good.
goal for a while. So.
Oh, cool. Well, I'll be sending people your way for sure. So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you. Well, again, Jen, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. You're a fantastic person. I'm sure you will be an amazing dungeon master, and I want to hear all about it when you finally take the dive into this even scarier but more awesome world of being a dungeon master.
Well, thank you. It has been my pleasure. So.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, you have a great night. Have fun with your family, getting up all in your bed and just playing around with the Frost Maiden.
Oh yeah, I will. All right.
Sweet.
Have a good one.
Thanks. You too. Bye.